Pat O'Rourke back at Fort Morgan High School Gymnasium. Obviously going to start this one at least a half hour past the scheduled starting time, as they are just about to introduce the starting lineups for tonight's matchup. Starting lineups are brought to you by Cargill Meat Solutions. Cargill takes as much pride in the community just as they do in the products they provide to the consumers of their beef products. That's Cargill Meat Solutions, part of the KSIR B106 Scholarship Program. At the end of the year, one Fort Morgan and one Brooks student athlete will receive a scholarship thanks to Cargill Meat Solutions, as well as Digger's Diner and KSIR and B106. Let's give you the starting lineups for the Niwot Cougars. Their head coach is Kerry Graham, assisted by Tiffany Sewell, Kim Shettle, and Jamie Dwyer. Freshman in the Niwot starting lineup, her name is Katie Judge. A couple seniors. Joanna Vuki is one. Colleen Gripe is the other. Leah Lasecki is a junior. Also in that starting lineup, Liz Vitale. She is a junior. And finally, sophomore Nina Weingert. So again, it's Judge, Vuki, Lasecki, Weingert, Gripe, and Vitale, the starting lineups for the Niwot Cougars. Now the starting lineup for the Fort Morgan Mustangs, who are coached by Tom Gonzalez, assisted by Farron Musgrave and Jennifer Eyring. Mustang starters consist of junior Kendra Bohm, senior Katie Schneider, senior Allison Pogerels, senior Cammie Weimer, junior Danielle Lebsock, and sophomore Trista Karras. Bohm, Schneider, Pogerels, Weimer, Lebsock, and Karras for Fort Morgan. Mustangs 1-0, Niwot's 0-1. JV match tonight won by the Niwot Cougars 20-25, 25-19, and 15-10. Teams huddling up before the start. The Mustang student section on their feet, as you'd expect. They were a major boost to the Fort Morgan players on Thursday night. No doubt about it, Fort Morgan able to win that one in 3 games. And as we've said before, it's one of the most exuberant student sections Fort Morgan has had in the last decade. And you can hear them already on the other side of the gymnasium. I don't even need to have a mic over in that direction, that they will make themselves heard over your radio dial. Starting the first serve of tonight's match is brought to you by Ackley Building Center, your one-stop center for products around your home, office, or yard. Ackley offers everything you need to build, remodel, or repair, from paint to storm doors and windows to lumber and building materials. That's Ackley Building Center. They're at 1402 Mill Street in Brush. Now the teams, the starters, huddling up on the floor before we get this one underway. Again, over a half hour past the scheduled starting time. We saw that last week as well. A lot of it depends on the length of the C matches and JV matches before this one. Mustangs in the court to my right. Niwot in the court that is in front of me, as I am located in the southeast corner of the gymnasium. Allison Pogerels will serve to start off this match. She serves from right to left. It's barely over the net, sent over by Niwot, sent right back over by Karras and Fort Morgan. Played near the 10-foot line, free-balled over by the Cougars. Mustangs get to their left side to Danielle Lebsock, and she hits it too long, and Niwot has the match's first point. It's 1-0. Going back to serve for the Cougars is Liz Vitale. No relation to Dick. She will serve from left to right. The junior for the Cougars sends it in the back row of the Mustangs, but sends it too long, so that's a service there. And it's 1-1. First point of the night for Fort Morgan, brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Locally in Fort Morgan and Brush, they offer home, health, auto, farm, business, and workers' compensation insurance at Ingmeyer Phillips. Spike on the left side by the Cougars. Joanna Vuki goes into the nets, and the Mustangs have their first lead. It's 2-1. Danielle Lebsock will serve again. Her serve is a pop fly played by the Cougars in the middle of their court behind the 10-foot line. Hitting it over and in front of the back line is Colleen Gripe. And it makes it 2-2. First kill of the match for either side. Serving for the Cougars will be Katie Judge. She is a freshman. The only freshman we'll see in this match. Serve over to Pogerels and Fort Morgan. In the back row, Lebsock has to hit it. It's played nicely by Gripe. Setting done for the left side. There it's Leah Losecki, and she's got a kill. And Niwot reclaims the lead at 3-2. Judge will serve again. Judge serves from left to right. Her right-handed serve goes to Pogerels. Good pass up to Bohm. Spike on the left. There it's Cammie Weimer. Easily played by Losecki. Spike on the right by Vuki is good because the Mustang went into the nets trying to block Vuki. And Niwot has a 4-2 advantage. 3 unanswered points for the Cougars. Judge again. This time to Lebsock. Bohm sets it up on the right. The dink by Schneider. Played, but she went under the nets. In fact, it's a foot fault, the call against Fort Morgan. So the Mustangs struggle at the start. They're down 5-2. They also struggled at the start of their match against Thompson Valley last Thursday. This serve goes to Lebsock. Not a good pass. Has to be bumped up by Bohm. The 10-foot line. Schneider sends it over. Played there by Gripe. Setting down in the left. There it's Losecki. Dug out in the back row by Lebsock. Cross court set to Weimer on the left. Dug out on the dive by the Cougars. Spike on the right. This is Vuki through the Mustang touch. Played by Pogerels. Bohm gets it to the middle. There it's Karras. The sophomore hits it too long. 6-2 Niwot. 5 unanswered points to the Cougars. The Mustangs are going to make some substitutions. Coming into the match, Jordan Chappell. Also coming in, Chloe Stroh. They check into the match for Bohm and Schneider. Actually, that was not a point for the Cougars. We had someone in the net, so it's actually a point for Fort Morgan. That's why the substitutions are made, and then Chloe Stroh serves it into the net. Stroh really struggled for serve in the match against Thompson Valley last Thursday. Had 4 service errors and has one in her first serve of the night. It's 6-3 in favor of Niwot. Serve from the Cougars. Corey Ganser has just checked in. Is over to the Mustang side. Spike on the right by Karras is blocked. Blocked by Leah Losecki. And Niwot has a 7-3 lead. Ganser will serve again. Ganser sends it way too long, and Niwot has their second service there. So each team's got 2. Mustangs checking in. Caitlin Van Greshpe, also Callie Poitz. They check into the match for Pogerels and Karras. And Poitz will serve. 7-4 Niwot. Good serve played by the Cougars. Setting at the middle. Spike good. Back right corner. Nicely done by Niwot. Colleen Gripe with the finish. It's 8-4. Mustangs were down 14-4 against Thompson Valley last Thursday night. They came back to win that game 1 and proceeded on for the sweep. Joanna Vuki serves for the first time for the Cougars. Her right hand goes in the back to Poitz, up to Stroh on the right. Off balance, Weimer dinks it over, and it's going to work for a Mustang point. Weimer has her first kill. She had 12 in the match against Thompson Valley. And she will now serve. 5 serving 8. We're in game 1. The Weimer serve skims off the top net and works for an ace. Unable to handle the serve was Allison Horsch. So the Mustangs are within 2. Weimer again. This time she sends it long. Another Fort Morgan service there. That's 3. That's accounted for a third of Niwot's points. Leah Losecki now goes back to serve. Losecki sends it off the top of the net. Barely played by Fort Morgan and Van Greshby. Van Greshby gets it back from Stroh, dinks it over. Easy play for Losecki and the Cougars. Spike on the left side over the Fort Morgan block. Dug out in one hand by Weimer, but nobody's going to be able to get to that second hit cleanly. And the Cougars have a 4-point advantage. Losecki with her team up 10-6. The junior serves it over to Chappell. Stroh at the middle. It's Van Greshby. She sends it too long. 11-6. Losecki again. This one goes to Weimer. Up to Stroh at the middle. Van Greshby. Her dink is over and good. Caitlin Van Greshby's first kill. Kendra Bohm and Katie Schneider are going to check back in. They come in for Chappell and Stroh. Pat O'Rourke with you here on B106. Mustangs down 4 in game 1. It's 7-11. Kendra Bohm serves. This one in the back row, played by Horsch. Bumped up at the 10-foot line, flat-footed, sending it over as Losecki. Easy play, Mustangs. Here's a spike in the middle. The dink by Van Greshby that goes into the net. 4 hits the official call. 12-7 Niwot. Nina Weingert's going to check back in as Ganser goes out. Serving. It's Gripe. She sends it to Schneider. Bohm on the left, Lebsock. Her hard hit is good. The impressive kill for Lebsock. Hardest hit ball of the night. Mustangs within 4. It's 12-8. Coming into the match is Allison Pogarels. Also checking in is Trista Karras. Van Greshby goes out. Poitz also goes out. Not a good pass to the Cougars. That'll work for a Mustang point as Pogarels contributes. And the Mustangs are within 3. It's 9-12. The only lead Fort Morgan's had was 2-1. Set goes to the middle. Spike there over the Mustang block and good. The attack from Nina Weingart. 13-9 Cougars. They have a 4-point lead again. Joanna Vuki comes in for Horsch. Serving is Liz Vitale. Vitale serves it into the net. Neither team serving well. Here is Danielle Lebsock. Saw a lot of service errors in the Thompson Valley match as well. Lebsock with that high serve sends it over. Spike on the left by Buki. Was going to be too long, but it's played by Pogarels, and that's a Niwot point. That was going to go out of bounds. 14-10 Cougars. And here is Katie Judge. The freshman serves, skims off the top net, played by Weimer. Weimer gets it back from Bohm. The spike blocked. 15-10 Cougars. And Katie Judge serves again. Judge has the most points from the service line. Her serve goes to Lebsock. Not a good pass. Played by Weimer. The third hit. A dink over by Schneider. Easy play, Cougars. Set goes to the right to Vuki. Vuki can't hit it over the net. And that pulls Fort Morgan within 4. It's 11-15. Chloe Stroh and Jordan Chappell check in as Bohm and Schneider go out. Your one-stop shopping center is Walmart, open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 1300 North Barlow Road, Fort Morgan. The serve to the Cougars. The spike on the right, never made. In fact, it's just a free ball. It's over and too wide. Making it 15-11. Actually, 15-12 as Chloe Stroh again serves. She gets it over, played by the Cougars. Stay on the right to Vuki. Vuki's dink, played by Pogarel. Second hit, sent over by Chappell in the back row, and that'll work for a Mustang point. They're within 2. First kill for Chappell. Stroh will serve again. Stroh sends it into the net. Her second service error. Coming into the match for Niwot will be Corey Ganser. She's in for Gripe. Ganser waits for the go-ahead from the official. And she sends it over the right hand. It goes to left sock. Stroh at the middle. The spike there is good by Cammie Weimer. Into the match for Fort Morgan, Callie Poitz. She checks in along with Caitlin Van Greshepie. Going out is Pogarels and also Karras. Poitz serves for Fort Morgan. Not a good pass. Niwot setting done from the 10-foot line. The spike on the left is blocked, played by Niwot. They go to the right to Buki. Buki's hit is sent too wide. Fort Morgan once down 5. Now within 1, but wait a second. I guess that point looked like it was going to go wide, but officials saying Fort Morgan was in the net. So instead of Fort Morgan being within 1, they're down by 3. A serve by Allison Horsch is in the net. That's Niwot's 4th service error. And Cammie Weimer will now serve. Mustangs down 2. 15 serving 17. Weimer in the back row, not well played. In fact, that's going to work for another Mustang point. No one played the first bad pass from Katie Judge. It's 16-17. Weimer and the Mustangs looking to tie it up. Serve is short, barely played by the Cougars. Third hit, free balled over to Fort Morgan. Stroh. Chappell does the setting. On the left, it's Lepsock. That is good in front of the back line. And this one is tied at 17. And Niwot wants a timeout. This timeout brought to you by Part Smart CarQuest. Mustangs once down 5 have drawn even. We're in game 1, 17-17. You're listening to Fort Morgan Volleyball on B106. And the online streaming brought to you by Digger's Diner on B106.com. You're listening to Fort Morgan Volleyball on B106. A timeout brought to you by Part Smart CarQuest. For those hard-to-find parts, see the parts pros at Part Smart CarQuest, 1025 East Platte Avenue, or call 867-2535. The serve from Cammie Weimer is into the back row, played by the Cougars. Setting down the left. Spike there is good. Coming through was Leah Lasecki, and the Cougars are back in front after Lasecki's second kill. It's 18-17. Lasecki will now serve. Mustang fans try to distract her. Her serve goes in the back to Weimer. Good pass at the middle. Off balance, sending over the left hand was Van Greshepie. Setting goes to the left for Niwot. Katie Judge's hit through the Mustang block dugout. Sent over on a free ball by Fort Morgan. Sent back by the Mustangs off a Niwot free ball. Cougars play it to their middle. The little dink is over. Handled by Fort Morgan on the play by Gripe. Here's a dink by Lepsock. That is good. And Fort Morgan draws even again. Second kill for Lepsock. It's 18-18. Katie Schneider and Kendra Bohm check back into the match. As Lepsock and Stroh go out. Bohm will serve. Bohm serve played by Horsch. Setting down at the middle. Spike is into the net from Colleen Gripe, and Fort Morgan has their first lead since it was 2-1. Bohm again. That's an ace. Unable to play it where the Cougars. A bad pass. 20-18, Fort Morgan. Bohm again will serve. This one better pass. Bad set, though. The dink is over to Fort Morgan and Bohm. That means Schneider does the setting on the left for Lepsock. Her dink easily handled there by Horsch. Over the left, the Cougars hit over the block, dug out by Bohm, ran down Schneider. Third hit, Lepsock, dug out by Niwot. High towards the rafters it goes. Schneider tried to send it over, but she gets into the nets. And that will be a side out for the Cougars. Much needed side out for Niwot after Fort Morgan had rattled off 3 unanswered. Serving for the Cougars, Colleen Gripe. Nina Weingart back into the match for Niwot. Good pass at the bone. Here was a spike on the right by Lebsock. Dink played by the Cougars. They get it to their right. The spike off a flat-footed hit by Allison Horsch. Ran down by Fort Morgan. Here's Lebsock on the left through the block. Dug out in the knees by Horsch. Set to the left. There it's Judge. The freshman's hit is over the top of the net and good for on the Fort Morgan side of the floor. A Niwot point, and the Cougars have drawn even. Second kill for Judge. Freshman has some pretty good leaping ability. Definitely not the tallest player on the floor by any means. Colleen Gripe goes to Weimer. Good pass. Here's Bohm, but no one's there to make the spike. Mustangs have given up 3 unanswered points, and they're now trailing again. It's 21-20. Timeout by Tom Gonzalez. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Fort Morgan Volleyball on B106. Pat O'Rourke back at Fort Morgan High School Gymnasium. We're in game 1, 21-20. Niwot Cougars are serving. It's Colleen Gripe. Her right-handed serve goes in the back row to Poit. Setting done by Bohm. Spike by Lebsock off a touch and good. Lebsock pulls the Mustangs even. She has 3 kills, which leads everyone. Poit's out of the match. Trista Karras comes in. Van Greshby also in. Van Greshby is serving. Mustangs running low in substitutions. We've gone back and forth, so Van Greshby has to serve. Niwot struggles with it. They do send it over, and Van Greshby can't make the pass in the back row. So it's side out back to the Cougars, who are back in front, 22-21. Serving for Niwot is Liz Vitale. Vitale, a good serve. Lebsock has to go low to play it. She gets it back, not a good set, and it's off the net and in to the Fort Morgan side of the floor, and the Mustangs are now down by 2. So Fort Morgan had a 20-18 lead. The Cougars have scored 5 of the last 6 points in this game. Liz Vitale again serves. This one goes to Weimer. Spike on the left by Karras. Blocked. Back to the Mustangs side. Here's Schneider on the right. Her little dink will work for a point. First kill for Schneider. 22-23 for Morgan down 1. Lebsock is going to serve. Played by the Cougars. They get the setting on the left. The spike by Buki is sent too wide, and it's even at 23. Back and forth we go in game 1. Again, it's Lebsock. Bloop serve again. Cougars get the setting in the back row. The spike there is through the block and good by Colleen Gripe. Mustang students thought that one was out. And a timeout on the floor again by Fort Morgan and head coach Tom Gonzalez. It's 24-23. We'll keep it right here. Stubbs Gas and Oil at I-76 and Highway 39 in Wiggins. Open 7 days a week. Hunting licenses, Western Union, food, gas, they have it all at Stubbs Gas and Oil. Also, Bank of Colorado featuring online banking. You can do it from the comfort of your home or office computer. Need a loan? See the folks at Bank of Colorado serving you today and the future. And Central Auto Parts for all of your auto supply needs. Stop by Central Auto Parts. They're at West Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan. Online streaming brought to you by Digger's Diner. Great specials every day at Digger's. Open till 9 o'clock every night. Located at the Tomahawk Truck Stop of I-76 in Brush. Serving by Katie Judge. It's going to go too long. That's a service error. The 5th for Niwot. And we're even at 24. Chloe Stroh and Jordan Chaplin in the match. As Schneider and Bohm go out. Stroh will serve from right to left. And her serve is into the net. It's the third service there for Stroh. Mustangs have 5 as a team, and now it's game point again for the Cougars. This serve is over the net, play by Van Greshby. Bad pass, bumped up the 10-foot line for Chappell. She sends in the back row. Would have gone out, but the Cougars play it. Lucky break for the Mustangs. That could have ended game one. For Morgan plays a dink. It was Stroh there getting there. Here's a third hit by Weimer. Dink over, played by the Cougars and Judge. Setting down to the left. Spike by Lasecki is good, and Niwot wins game one. And the Cougars celebrate as they win 26-24. We're back for game two. You're listening to Mustang Volleyball on B106. Niwot wins game one, 26-24. It's the first game Fort Morgan has lost this year because, of course, they won in 3 against Thompson Valley on Thursday night. So the Mustangs down 1-0. This break between games brought to you by Corf Continental. Corf knows how to get you in the car, truck, van, or SUV you want. Corf Continental with locations in Sterling, Yuma, Brush, and Fort Morgan. The #1 volume dealer in Northeast Colorado. That's Corf Continental. Mustangs and Cougars switch courts. Cougars will serve from right to left. Serving for Niwot is Liz Vitale. Niwot looking for their first win. They lost their season opening match to Berthoud in 3 games. Officials checking the lineup at the scorer's table before we get started. And soon we'll be ready to go. Still a little bit of a delay before we get this one started. I'd like to thank Equitable Savings and Loan, Northeast Colorado's hometown savings and loan, in Fort Morgan and Brush. That's Equitable Savings and Loan. And Fire Lanes for great family entertainment. Check out Fire Lanes. They're at 220 Cambridge and Brush. Walk in or reserve your time at Fire Lanes today. Here's the serve from Liz Vitale. From right to left, it goes to Karras. Bad pass sent back by Niwot. Schneider there to play it. On the left, it's Lebsock. Her hit through the touch, dug out by the Cougars. They send it right back to Fort Morgan. Weimer, Bohm on the right, Schneider. Her hit too wide. 1-0 Cougars. And Vitale will serve again. She's got to deal with the Fort Morgan student section. They're now located right in the Niwot half of the court, as a spike on the left by Lebsock is good to draw even at 1. Lebsock has 4 kills. That leads everyone. Allison Pogarels goes back to serve. Pogarels sends in the back row. Good pass for the Cougars. They get it up to Vitale. The spike on the left goes to Weimer in the back. Here's Bohm for Lebsock again. That hit is too wide. Side out Cougars. Colleen Gripe gives the ball to Katie Judge, who will serve. Judge, the freshman, has had a lot of success serving. Her right-handed serve goes to Pogarels. Good pass, Bohm. On the right, it's Lebsock. Dug out in the back row by Vitale. Goes right back to the Mustangs. Lebsock again. Dug out Niwot at the middle. Spike there through the Fort Morgan block. Dug out in one hand by Weimer. Nicely done to try to get it, but they're going to call a lift on Fort Morgan. I think it was Schneider who got it after the excellent Weimer dig. So the Cougars have another point. And Judge will again serve. Niwot has scored 6 points with Judge serving back there. 3-1 Cougars. This one goes to Pogarels. Bumped up at the 10-foot line. Spike by Weimers in the net. It's 4-1. Katie Judge again. Pogarels. Bohm on the left, spiked by Karras into the net, 5-1. Another poor start for the Mustangs. We saw this even in the Thompson Valley match. They won in 3 games. They have really struggled at the start of each game. Serve to Lebsock. Not a real good pass. She gets it back from Bohm. The spike off a touch, then sent back by Niwot. And Leah Lasecki. Timeout by the Mustang bench. They're down 6-1. Timeout brought to you by PartSmart CarQuest. You're listening to Mustang Volleyball. This is B106 and at B106.com. Six to 1 in favor of Niwot in game 2. Cougars already won game 1, 26-24. The serve is into the net from Katie Judge. Niwot with 6 service errors. Fort Morgan's got 5. Danielle Lebsock serves it off the top of the net and then out of bounds. Now the Mustangs have 6 service errors. 7-2 Cougars. Back into the match, Corey Ganser as Weingart goes out. Ganser, a junior, will serve. And her serve goes to Lebsock. Not a good pass. Has to be bumped over by Weimer. Cougars get it to their right. Buki's hit over the block. Dug out by Lebsock. Ran down the back by Schneider. Third hit by Weimer. Flat-footed tap. Dug out in the back by the Cougars. Spike at the middle off a Fort Morgan touch. Handled by Lebsock. Boom. Over to Schneider. Her and Karras converged, and it was Schneider who actually hit it over and good. Fort Morgan within 4. It's 3-7 as Stroh and Chappell come back in. And Bohm and Schneider go out. Stroh sends it too long. Another service error for Chloe Stroh. That's about 7 or 8 in the first 2 matches of the year. So here is Vuki. Vuki goes to Lebsock. She can't make the pass. That works for a Niwot point. It's 9-3. Cougars really in control here. Vuki again. To Pogorels. Set at the middle. The spike there by Weimer. Dug out by the Cougars. On the left side, the spike is into the net from Leah Lasecki. Side out Fort Morgan. Karras and Pogorels go out as Poitz and Van Greshby come in. Callie Poitz will serve. Officials check the lineups and we're ready to go. The serve to the Cougars. Spike at the middle, just a slide over. Barely handled by Fort Morgan. Weimer on the left, off balance. She'll send it over and good. Third kill for Weimer. Poitz will again serve. 9-5 in favor of Niwot. The serve, a good one. Passed up on the knees. Quick tap over by the setter. Vitale is good. 10-5. Alert play there by Vitale. Leah Lasecki goes back to serve. Lasecki to Poitz. Stroh on the right. Weimer off the top net. Play by Niwot. Setting on the left. Spike there is sent too wide. Katie Judge could not keep it in. 6-10. Weimer now serves. In the back to Horsch. Niwot does not play really well. They send it over to Fort Morgan. Easy play, Poitz. Stroh on the left. Lebsock over the block and over everybody. Too long. Side out again to the Cougars. 11-6. And going back to serve will be Gripe. Nina Weingart checks back in as Ganser goes out. Gripe with the serve. Serves it short. Played Chappell. Stroh at the middle, Van Greshby. Easy dink handled by Lisecki. Back on the left side. The spike there is good by Katie Judge. The freshman's third kill. 12-6. Again, it's Gripe. Niwot doubling up Fort Morgan in game 2. Serve in the back to Weimer. Stroh on the left. The spike there by Lepsock is good. Danielle Lepsock with her 5th kill. Mustangs within 5. Stroh and Chappell go out as Schneider and Bohm come in. Bohm serves. Setting at the middle. Bumped over by Niwot. Here's Bohm. Schneider has to do the setting for Lepsock. She'll just dink it over. Cougars play it in the back row. Hit there is over and good. It fell in front of Poit. She was very slow, reacted to it, and it works out to be an effective hit for Colleen Gripe. 13-7. Fort Morgan down a half dozen again. And Vitale is going to serve. Vitale sends it to Weimer. Setting at the middle. Spike there by Schneider. Dug out by the Cougars. They get the setting on the right side to Buki. Buki's hit. Dug out in one hand by Weimer, but nobody's going to get there for the second hit. 14-7. This is all Niwot. Vitale over to Schneider. Bumped up the 10-foot line. It's Weimer. Her hit too long. The Mustangs continue to make errors. Unforced errors as Liz Vitale will serve. 15-7. Looks like Fort Morgan are going to fall behind 2-0 unless they can really come back in this second game. This one goes to Poitz. A good pass. 10-foot line. Schneider sends it way too wide. 16-7. Fort Morgan just hurting themselves. It's not really anything Niwot's doing. Again, Vitale does the serving. Vitale in the back to Schneider. A pad pass. That's going to be a lift. 17-7. When it rains, it pours. Now this is the worst stretch Fort Morgan has had in the 2 matches up to this point. Here's a serve. It goes to Schneider. She gets it on the knee. Setting back on the left. Spike there by Lepsock in front of the back line is good. Lepsock does have 6 kills to lead everyone in this match. As Poitz and Van Greshby go out. Karras and Pogarels come back in. Pogarels will serve. Pogarels. Now a good pass by Niwot. Setting by Buki. The spike in the middle is blocked. On the attack from Weingart. Niwot plays it. Flat-footed tap. Blocked again by Fort Morgan. Mustangs try to send it over, but Buki with the nice play at the net to send it back to the Mustang side. 18-8. Side out back to the Cougars. And here is Katie Judge, who has hurt Fort Morgan from the service area. Her serve, good one to Pogarels. Ran down in the back by Bohm. On the left side, a spike by Karras. Never made it over. 19-8. All Cougars right now. After a very tightly contested game 1, service error by Judge. Each team now has 7 service errors. Lepsock off the top of the net, dug out by the Cougars. Bumped up, free balled over to Fort Morgan. Bohm hits it, so someone else got to get there. It's Schneider. Here's the third hit by Weimer. It's too long. 20-9. Back in for the Cougars is Ganser as Weingart goes out. Ganser serves to Lebsock. Now a good pass sent over in the second hit alertly by Weimer. Niwot plays it, and they free ball it over to Fort Morgan. Pogarels. Boom. Weimer on the left. Good. It's one of the few really good attacks that was right at the net for Fort Morgan. Weimer has 4 kills. A lot of times the Mustang hitter's been hitting it. It's been well off the net. Bohm and Schneider go out. Stroh and Chappell come in. Stroh's going to serve. His serve is over to the Niwot side. The setting on the right. The hit is blocked by Fort Morgan and Karras. Sent over by the Cougars again. Lebsock. Stroh on the right. It's Chappell off balance. She tried to send it over. Didn't get a good set. And she sent it. Never did send it over. It's 21-10. Allison Horsch comes in to serve for the Cougars. Horsch to Lebsock. Stroh at the middle. It's Weimer. That is good. Poitz and Van Greshby come in as Pogarels and Karras go out. Mustangs down 10 in game 2. Poitz serve and then net. Niwot doubling up Fort Morgan, 22-11. It's a matter of time until this game 2 is over. Leah Lisecki. Her serve goes to Poitz in the back. Bad pass ran down by Stroh. She bumps up for Lebsock at the 10-foot line. She'll send it long. 23-11. Just an awful second game for Fort Morgan. Again, the serve to Poitz. Better pass this time. Here's Stroh at the middle for Chappell. That is too long. 24-11. Game point for Niwot. Lisecki. Too long. That is a service error. Each team's got 8. Still game point for the Cougars. Cammie Weimer serves. Serve in the back to Judge. The set at the middle. The spike there. Dug out by Weimer on the attack. Spike on the left by Lebsock is too long. And that is another Niwot win. They win game 2, 25-12. Cougars lead 2-0. We're back after this on B106 and B106.com. Niwot leads Fort Morgan 2-0. Mustangs didn't play well at all in that second game after losing game 1, 26-24. Cougars won easily in game 2, 25-12. Premier Farm Credit, they're the gold standard in ag lending, committed to serving those in production ag. That's Premier Farm Credit. And Morgan Medical Equipment and Supply will take care of all your sports medicine needs, and they offer back braces, walkers, canes, medical alert bracelets, home oxygen equipment, and much more. Another service there for Fort Morgan as we begin game 3. This one from Pogarels. Mustangs now have 9 service errors as a team. Niwot now in the near court. Liz Vitale serves from left to right. And her serve is in the net, so the Cougars commit their 9th service error. An auspicious start to game 3. Maybe we'll find out what the Mustangs are made of here. Down 2-0. It's easy to quit. So let's see if they do that or not. As Lebsock's serve goes to Judge. A set behind the 10-foot line by over 4. Colleen Gripe is over and good. The Mustangs could not dig it cleanly. 2-1 to score. And Katie Judge will serve. Judge over to Lebsock. Bad pass. Ran down Bohm. Here's Schneider 8 feet behind the net. Dug out by the Cougars. They send it over. Vuki's hit, though, is blocked. Cammie Weimer with the block. Her first of the night. 2-2. Stroh and Chappell come back in for Schneider and Bohm. And Stroh will serve. Stroh's serve. Played a little short, handled by Lisecki. Sent on the right for Buki. Her hit over the block, dug out by Lebstock. Stroh tries to slide over. Cougars there to get it. They go to their left side. There it's Gripe, blocked by Fort Morgan. Bumped up again. Lisecki's hit. Dug out by Weimer. Stroh on the right for Chapel. Off balance dink. Easily played by Niwot. On the right side, Buki. Buki's hit is good. Down the line. Joanna Buki has 5 kills. It's 3-2 Niwot. And Niwot a little slow here. Supposed to be a substitution. And Corey Ganser finally comes in. There she was supposed to come in. Or a little confusion regarding Niwot in the substitution. Now Ganser will check in for Weingart. So Ganser will come in. Ganser serves from left to right. Her serve to Chapel, who was confused, and she could not hit it. That is another ace for the Cougars. They lead it 4-2. Again, it's Ganser with the serve. This one a little short. Pogarel's had the dive to get it. Third hit sent over by Fort Morgan. Setting at the middle. Spike there is going to be good, but we had a Cougar player in the net. So it's a side out back to Fort Morgan. Karras goes out, as does Pogarels. Van Greshpe and Poitz check back in. Poitz will serve. Poitz to Judge. Not a good pass. Ran down the back row. Third hit. Back to Judge. She free balls it over. Stroh hits it, so that means Chapel doesn't stay in the left for Weimer. Weimer's hit is blocked. Goes into the net. Mustangs try to send it over, but it's 4 hits. 5-3 Cougars on the side out. And serving will be Vuki. Vuki from left to right. That's over to Weimer. At the middle. Spike there is Chapels, and she'll hit it over and good. Five to 4 now. Mustangs within 1 again. Allison Horsch back into the match. Bad pass, that's an ace. Cammie Weimer with the ace, and Fort Morgan is even at 5. We're in game 3. The Mustangs are trailing. We're 2 games to none. Weimer from right to left. Short, barely played by the Cougars. They bump it up. The third hit, a flat-footed tap over into the back row of Fort Morgan. Stroh bumps up in the Mustang back row for Weimer, who sends it too long. Side out Cougars. Niwot back in the lead. And here is Leah Lisecki. Lisecki serves from left to right. This one into the net. 10 service errors for the Cougars. Mustangs going to make a substitution as they bring in Kendra Boehm and Katie Schneider. Boehm serves. Horsch the pass, not a real good one. Setting, though, anyway by Vitale. The hit off the top net by Judge to the Fort Morgan side. At the middle, it's Van Greshpe. Through the block, dug out Niwot. Sent back by Lebstock. Off of Niwot touch, played by the Cougars. On their left side, the hit by Judge. Handled by Weimer. Setting on the left for Fort Morgan. Spiked there by Lebstock. Never made it over. 7-6 Cougars. And Gripe will go back to serve. Weingart comes in as Ganser goes out. Gripe is going to serve. Gripe over to Weimer. Bohm at the middle. The spike by Schneider. Barely dug out. Sent over in a free ball to Fort Morgan. Here's Weimer. Bumped up Bohm at the middle. The hit is never made over by Fort Morgan. 8-6. Gripe serves again. Mustangs 1-3 against Thompson Valley last Thursday. They're in danger of losing in 3 here. So a lot of points left in this third game as Van Greshby dinks it over. Cougars there to get it. Vitale on the left. The dink by Judge is sent good down the left line. 4th kill for Judge. 9-6. Again, it's Gripe. Into the net. All sorts of service errors for the Cougars. Pogarels and Karras back in for Poitz and Van Greshby. Pogarels with the serve. And she serves it into the net. That's 10 service errors for Fort Morgan. Joanna Vuki comes in as Horsch goes out. Liz Vitale serves it to Pogarels. Not a good pass. Played by Lebstock in the back. Weimer about 12 feet back. Sends it long. 11-7. Liz Vitale. Over to Lebstock. Good pass this time. She gets it back from Bohm or Dink. Played by the Cougars in the back. Spike on the left side by Judge. Off a touch. Handled by Weimer. Bumped up Bohm. The third hit. The 10-foot line is good by Pogarels. 8-11. Danielle Lebstock will serve. Lebstock sends it in there. That is an ace. Eleven to 9. Fort Morgan down 2 in game 3. Down 2 games to none. Cougars don't get a real good pass. The third hit well behind the 10-foot line. Played by Fort Morgan. And Weimer. Third hit free balled over by Schneider. Bumped up Cougars. They get it on their right side. The spike there into the back row. Handled by Lebstock. Staying in the left. Spike by Weimer. Dink is over and good. 6 kills for Weimer. Her and Lebstock have the team lead in this match. Mustangs are now within 1. 10-11. Lebstock again serves. Cougars get the set into the back row. The spike there is sent too long from Lisecki. The Mustangs have pulled even. 11-11. Cougars asking the official for a lineup whether they are in correct alignment or not. Mustangs trying for their first lead of game 3. Cougars don't get a good pass. Spike by Lisecki never made it over. The Mustangs lead 12-11. Five unanswered points for Fort Morgan. Again, a bad pass by the Cougars. Third it has to be free-balled over. It's Weimer. Boom. On the left, the dink by Weimer. Dug out. Cougars, flat-footed tap over the Mustangs and Pogarels. Boom. At the middle, the dink by Karras. Cougars there to get it. On the left side, the hit by Judge. Dug out Lebstock. Here's Bohm on the left for Weimer. Dink, easy play. There it is Lisecki. Spike in the middle, never made over by Weingart. Fort Morgan has a 2-point lead, 13-11. Surprisingly, no timeout from the Cougars. Lebstock again. Pass made by Gripe. Spike in the middle is into the net from Vuki. 14-11. There's the timeout by the Niwot bench. The Mustangs have rallied with 7 unanswered points. They lead 14-11 in game 3. We're back in 30 seconds on B106. Pat O'Rourke back with you on B106 and on the World Wide Web at B106.com. The online streaming being brought to you by Digger's Diner. West Tech Rentals, whether you're a contractor or homeowner, West Tech Rentals, your source for rental equipment and landscaping materials. Danielle Lebstock with a heck of a service run here. Mustangs have scored 7 unanswered. Her service a little short, played by the Cougars. Staying the left for Buki. Buki's dink is over, dug out for Morgan, but nobody's going to get the second hit. Side out Niwot. Cougars within 2. It's 12-14. Katie Judge will serve. Judge from left to right goes to Pogarels. Now a good pass, ran down by Bohm. Here's the dink by Weimer that never made it over. 13-14. The big Niwot runs have mainly come with Judge serving. The freshman sends it to Lebstock. Ran down the back row by Bohm. Lebstock about 15 feet behind the net. Her dink easily played by Vitale. On the left side, the spike there by Lisecki. Blocked by Fort Morgan. Played back to the Cougars. Lisecki again over the block. Dug out by Bohm. Setting on the left for Weimer. Weimer's hit into the net. It's 14-14. Katie Judge serves again. Judge sends it to Schneider. Not a good pass again. Bumped up by Bohm. At the 10-foot line, it's Pogarels. In the back to Judge. Vitale on the right, Buki. Joanna Buki's hit down the line and good. Just like that, the Cougars have scored 4 unanswered, and they're in the lead. Buki has 7 kills. That leads all players. Katie Judge again. It goes to Lebstock. Bohm on the left. Weimer dug out Niwot. Bumped up. Third hit. Free balled over to Fort Morgan. Weimer. Bohm on the right. The dink by Schneider. Off a touch. Dug out by the Cougars. They got to send it over, and they can't do so. That'll be a Fort Morgan point. And with Mustangs on the side out, have drawn even. Fort Morgan playing poorly is kind of taking their crowd out of this one as well. Not a whole lot of noise being made right now from the Mustang students. It's 15-15 in game 3. Chloe Stroh serves. Cougars get the pass from Lisecki. She gets it back from Vitale. Her spike on the left, dug out by Lebstock. Stroh runs it down. Here's Weimer on the left. That's good. Mustangs back in front. 16-15. Again, Stroh will serve. This serve was going to go long, but it's played by the Cougars. Lisecki on the left side. That's good. She was about 15 feet behind the net. And her ball still found an open spot in the Fort Morgan court. It's 5 kills for Lisecki. Buki goes out as Horsch comes in. And Niwot just messed up with the substitution. Horsch came in too early. Niwot struggled to keep track of their substitutions. Who's supposed to be coming in for who? The serve is from Weingart. Weingart serve played by Lebstock. Stroh at the middle for Weimer. That's too long. Niwot back in the lead, 17-16. Buki's going to come back in for Horsch. Horsch had to play in the front row for 1 point, but it did not hurt Niwot. Weingart serves. In the back to Fort Morgan. Again, a poor pass played by Karras back there. The dink by Chappell. Easy play, Cougars. Lisecki on the left. Her hit blocked by Fort Morgan. Bumped up. Cougars get back on their side. Third hit, a free ball over by Buki. Stroh sets it up for Weimer on the left, and that hit is off balance and into the net. Didn't get the set she wanted. 18-16. Timeout by Tom Gonzalez and the Fort Morgan bench. Back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Mustang Volleyball on B106. (18-16) in favor of Niwot. In game 3, Cougars lead 2-0. West Tech Rentals, whether you're a contractor or homeowner, West Tech Rentals, your source for rental equipment and landscaping materials. And Automotive Innovations, take care of your preventive maintenance needs and much more at Automotive Innovations. Cougars serve out of the Fort Morgan timeout. Niwot has scored 3 unanswered points. It's been a game of runs as Nina Weingart sends it over. And it's a bad pass by Fort Morgan, sent right back by Colleen Gripe. Cougars have a 3-point advantage. Weingart again. And this one is out of bounds. The Cougars commit their 12th service error. Callie Poitz and Caitlin Van Greshby back in for Karras and Pogerels. Corey Ganser in for Niwot. Poitz will serve. Mustangs down 2, 17 serving 19. This one goes to Judge. The freshman makes a good pass. The middle, the dink. Played by Fort Morgan on the hit by Gripe. Spike by the Mustangs is good by Cammie Weimer. 8 kills for Weimer tonight. Mustangs within 1, 18-19. Points again to Judge. At the 10-foot line, the passing by Vitale, the setting by Vitale, spiked by Lasecki, dug out in the back row for Morgan. They got to free ball it over. Weimer does. It goes in the back row to Ganser. The spike at the middle of the net is through and good. The attack by Colleen Gripe. Cougars have 4 players who have 4 or more kills. Serving now is Allison Horsch. 20-18. Horsch sends it barely over the net. That's an ace, a little curveball, or almost a knuckleball, as Lebsock could not get to it. And it's 21-18. Allison Horsch again. This one goes to Lebsock. Stroh at the middle. The spike is into the net. Actually, is through the net and through the block of Niwot. Through the block, and that's a Fort Morgan point. Going back to serve is Cammie Weimer. Mustangs down 2, 19 serving 21. Cougars get the good pass. A spike at the middle. Dug out in the hit by Gripe, sent over by the Mustangs in Chapel. Confusion on Niwot's side. They had 3 or 4 players bumping into each other, and that's a Mustang point. Weimer again serves. Mustangs looking to draw even. Bad pass. That's an ace, and Fort Morgan has drawn even. 4 aces tonight for Weimer. 21-21. The Mustangs are down 2 games to none, trying to send this to a 4th game. Weimer again. Cougars get the pass this time from Judge. Bad set, though. The dink over to the Mustangs. Here's a quick hit by Chapel. Played by Horsch. Setting on the left. Lasecki off the top net. Handled by Lebsock. Back to the right to Chapel. Through the block. Dug out Niwot. Can they send it over? No, they can't. 4 kills for Chapel. The Mustangs have a lead. 22-21 and a timeout by the Niwot bench. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Mustang Volleyball on B106. Insurance Connection, whether it's health, life, dental insurance, or Medicare supplement, see Sharon Kaufman at Insurance Connection. Mustangs up by 1 in Game 3. They've rallied back in this 3rd game, and there's another ace by Weimer as Horsch could not make the pass. And Fort Morgan has a 2-point lead, 23-21. Mustangs down by as many as 4 in this 3rd game. Again, Weimer serves. This is a little short. Barely passed up by the Cougars, and they can't send it over. And now it's triple game point. Weimer sends it in there right in front of the back line. That is an ace. And the Mustangs win Game 3, 25-21. We go to a 4th game back after this on B106 and B106.com. Pat O'Rourke back at Fort Morgan High School Gymnasium. The Mustangs are trailing Niwot 2-1. Niwot won the first two games, 26-24 and 25-12. Fort Morgan won game 3, 25-21. So we're now in game 4. Fort Morgan had to rally from behind in that third game. They were down by as many as 4 points. And we'll see if they can have some momentum continued into game 4. Serving for Niwot will be Liz Vitale. Very stuffy Fort Morgan Gymnasium as Vitale serves. Vitale sends it over to the Mustang side, and Pogarels setting there by Bohm. The spike in the middle by Schneider. Dug out by the Cougars on the floor in the back by Lisecki. Third hit sent over to Pogarels in Fort Morgan. Here's Schneider on the right. Her dink never made it over. 4 hits to call against the Mustangs. 1-0 Niwot. Vitale will serve again. Vitale waits for the go-ahead from the official and sends it over with the right hand. It goes to Weimer. Up to Bohm. On the left, spike by Karras. Off a touch, dug out by the Cougars, and they can't send it over. Trista Karras got quite involved the other night against Thompson Valley, but that unofficially was her first kill of this evening. Here's Danielle Lebsock. A bloop serve barely over the net, played by Niwot. Spike on the left by Buki, never made it over. Fort Morgan has a 2-1 lead. Mustangs have 9 points when Lebsock's been serving. Lebsock again. This time it finds Judge. The freshman bumps up. Not a good pass. Sent over by Buki. Easy play, Pogarels. Boom. On the left. Weimer over the block. That's good. 3-1 Fort Morgan. 9 kills tonight for Cammie Weimer. That leads all players. Again, Lebsock is going to serve. This one served a little short, played by Lisecki. Spike at the middle by Gripe, dug out by Pogarels off the touch. Here's Weimer over to Karras, flat-footed. She'll send it over. Didn't get the set she wanted, actually not from Weimer, but from Bohm. Spike by Niwot, dug out by Fort Morgan, sent over on 2 hits. Bohm's second hit works for a Mustang point. That was an excuse me hit from Bohm just to get her hand on it, and it went over and worked for a Mustang point, 4-1. Lebsock again. Good pass by the Cougars. Spike on the left for Buki. Blocked. And a lift against Niwot. 5-1 our score. So the momentum from the end of Game 3 has carried over to the beginning of Game 4. Again, it's Danielle Lebsock. She tries to serve it short. Played in the front row. Not a good pass. And over on 3 hits to Lebsock and Fort Morgan. Here's Bohm at the middle, and she gets called for the net. Actually, getting into the net. And that will be a side out for Niwot. Here's Katie Judge serving. This one goes to Pogarels. Bohm at the middle. Weimer, sends it over to Niwot. The dig back to Fort Morgan, and Weimer sends it over again. Cougars now play it. They'll get it over to Lebsock in the back row, and she gets called for 2 hits. 3-5. Katie Judge, who has served well tonight, will serve again. Lebsock, not a good pass. Well, actually not a bad pass as Bohm gets a set to Weimer. Her hit dug out by the Cougars. On the left side, spike there, good by Lisecki. Leah Lisecki's got 6 kills. Katie Judge will again serve. Judge sends it over to Lebsock. That's a bad pass. That's going to be another Niwot point. 5-5. 4 unanswered points for the Cougars. Again, Judge to Lebsock. Setting by Bohm. The dink by Schneider is sent too wide. And whatever momentum I was talking about before certainly has gone back to the Cougars. 6-5 Niwot. Lebsock bumped up Bohm. On the left, Weimer. Her hit good. As she attacks from left to right, she found the back right corner. 6-6, side out Fort Morgan. Chappell and Stroh come back in as Bohm and Schneider go out. Stroh will serve. Stroh in the back to Gripe. Sliding to make the set, Vitale in the back row. Lisecki hits it over to Pogarels. Stroh on the left for Weimer, off a touch, handled by Lisecki. Gripe does a setting for Buki on the right. Buki's hit is good. Buki, been quiet for a little while, now has 8 kills. Niwot back in front at 7-6. Corey Ganser checks back into the match as Weingart goes out. And Ganser is going to serve. A serve to Lebsock. Stroh on the left, Chappell. Chappell's hit, dug out by Judge. Setting down on the left, spike off the top, and that dug out by Fort Morgan on the hit by Lisecki. At the middle, it's Karras through the touch, played by Niwot. Sent right back by Weingart. Dug out Fort Morgan, quick hit over by Chappell. Cougars there to play it. Third hit, the 10-foot line. A couple players collide for Niwot, and they can't send it over. Lisecki collided with Ganser, actually with Judge. And it's 7-7, side out Fort Morgan. Van Greshby and Poit's going to come back into the match for Pogarels and Karras. And here is Poit serving. This serve goes in the back, not a good pass. Way back near the end line, Niwot tries to hand it over, but it's called 4 hits officially against the Cougars as they cannot send it over. And the Mustangs are in the lead, 8-7. Poits will again serve. Cougars play it. Set never made over. Another point for Fort Morgan. 9-7 Mustangs. They're trying to send this to a 5th game. Here's Poits over to the Cougars. Not a real good pass. Setting by Vitale. The spike way too long. 10-7. The momentum shifts so fast in this game as the serve goes into the net. Side out back to Niwot. 11 service errors for Morgan. Cougars have 12. Allison Horsch serves. Horsch over to Poits. Stroh on the right, Weimer through a touch and good. Cammie Weimer now with 11 kills. She had 12 against Thompson Valley on Thursday. Weimer will serve. Weimer again. Good pass. Spike at the middle. The dink played by Fort Morgan on the hit by Gripe. Here's Lebsock on the left. Dug out in the back row by the Cougars. Vitale does a setting cross court in the left side. Lisecki dug out Fort Morgan. The dink by Lebsock. Handled by the Cougars. They go back to Lisecki on the left. Dug out by Poits on her knees. Stroh on the right, Chappell. Slide played by Gripe. Vitale back to Gripe in the middle. Through the touch and good. And Gripe has 7 kills. Niwot needed a side out. They're within 2. It's 9 serving 11. Cougars lead 2-1. Leah Lisecki serves. Too long. Another service there for the Cougars. Bohm and Schneider come back in as Chappell and Stroh go out. And Bohm will serve. Bohm played by Lisecki. Vitale on the left. Judge cannot hit it over. 12-9 or 13-9 Fort Morgan. Bohm again. Good pass this time. At the middle. The dink by Gripe. Good. 10-13. Gripe getting more involved for Niwot. Nino Weingart comes in for Ganser. Gripe will now serve. Her serve finds Poits. Bohm On the right, it's Van Greshby. Bad pass by Niwot off the dink, and that's going to work for Fort Morgan. 14-10, side out Mustangs. Karras and Pogarels come back in for Van Greshby and Poitz. And Pogarels will serve. Pogarels. Good pass, Niwot. They get the setting at the middle. The spike there through the block. To hit by Lisecki. Mustangs dig it out. Van Greshby, that's Pogarels. Flat-footed, sending it over. Spike in the left for Niwot. For Katie Judge is through and good. This freshman really impressing. Katie Judge. Remember that name the next few years. It's 14-11. And Liz Vitale will serve. Vitale serves from right to left. She goes to Weimer. Boom. On the left, it's Karras. On the left side of Niwot. Through the block, the hit by Judge. Dug out Fort Morgan. Karras with the dink. Dug out one hand by Niwot. Third hit, the middle net. Blocked by Fort Morgan. Played, kept alive by Niwot. Free balled over by Weingart. Over to Pogarels. Boom. On the left, it's Lebsock through the block and good. Seven kills for Lebsock. The Mustangs lead 15-11. We're in game 4. Bloop serve by Lebsock is an ace. Second ace for Lebsock. Timeout by the Niwot bench. Mustangs lead 16-11 in game 4. We're back after this. This is Mustang Volleyball on B106. (16-11). Fort Morgan leads in game 4. The Mustangs are down 2 games to 1. They were down 2 games to none. Danielle Lebsock is serving. As the Mustangs come out with what the timeout called by Niwot. The serve is a little short, and almost another ace, but played by the Cougars. Behind the 10-foot line, Lisecki hits it over. Handled by Fort Morgan behind their 10-foot line. It's Cammie Weimer dinking it over and good. Weimer now with 12 kills, 17-11 Fort Morgan. Have to admit, after Fort Morgan lost that second game, 25-12, wasn't sure we'd be getting to this point. Danielle Lebsock again. Played by the Cougars. Sitting on the left. The spike there is blocked by the Mustangs. Kept alive Niwot. Bumped up. Third hit 15 feet behind the net. Dug out by Fort Morgan. Setting by Bohm. Spike by Weimer. Never made because that set went towards the official's chair. Not a chance there for Weimer to hit it. And it's a side out back to Niwot. Katie Judge will again serve. Judge to Lebsock. Bad pass. Back 2 hits. They call her a lift against Lebsock. And it's another point for Niwot. 13-17. This serve goes to Schneider. Another bad pass. Ran down Lebsock. Mustangs have to free ball it over. It's Weimer. Cougars play it to their side. On the left, Lisecki through the block, dug out in a dive by Lebsock. Weimer dinks it over, but she never actually hit it over. It went into the net. It's 14-17. Cougars have scored 3 points in a row. Again, Judge. Lebsock, good pass, Bohm. At the middle, bad set, barely hit over by Karras as she was off balance. Third hit from Niwot to the Mustang side, blocked by Karras, kept alive by the Cougars. On the left, Lisecki, dug out in the dive by Lebsock. The hit goes into the net, and the Mustangs can't play it. 4 points in a row for Niwot. It's 15-17. Serve to Pogarels. Boom. At the middle, Karras off a touch and good. Trista Karras with just her second kill of the night. 18-15, Fort Morgan. Stroh and Chappell come back in for Bohm and Schneider. And Stroh will serve. Played by the Cougars. Bad set. It goes in the back row. And sent way too long, 15 feet behind the net. Colleen Gripe, she hit it about 10 feet behind the Fort Morgan end line. 19-15. Stroh serves again. Played by the Cougars. They get the set in on the right. The spike by Buki. Dug out by Fort Morgan. Goes back to the Niwot side. Cougars barely play it, even though it looked like it might have gone out of bounds if they didn't play it. Pogarel, Stroh on the left. Weimer off the top net. Dug out in the knees in the back row by Gripe. Back to the Mustang side. Dug out left sock. The Mustangs, though, can't run it down as Stroh tried to get to it by the Fort Morgan bench. It's 16-19. Cougars within 3. Back into the match is Corey Ganser. Ganser serve. Goes to left sock. Ran down Stroh. On the left, it's Chappell. Barely dug out by the Cougars. Can they send it over? No. Side out back to Fort Morgan, 20-16. Van Greshby and Poitz are going to check back in for Karras and Pogarels. And Poitz will go back to serve. Mustangs 5 points away from winning this game and sending it to a 5th. Bad pass, Niwot. Their serve receive continues to struggle, but sending it over and good is Leah Lasecki. She's been quiet for a while. She now has 7 kills. Another side out, back in, Allison Horsch. Joanna Vuki goes out. Cougars are going to need a run here if they want to win this in 4. The serve is too long. That's 14 service errors tonight for Niwot. So Cammie Weimer will now serve. Weimer in the back row of the Cougars. Bad pass. They won't be able to send it over. And Weimer continues to serve very well. 22-17. Weimer again. Line drive. Again, a bad pass by Niwot. Third hit way behind that 10-foot line, sent over by Gripe. Mustangs play it to their left. Spike there by Lebstock. Dug out Fort Morgan. Bumped up in the air for Lasecki on the left side. Dug out by Weimer with the two-hand set. Here's a slide over by Chappell. That is good. Right in front of the back line. Well-placed shot by Jordan Chappell. 23-17 as Weimer serves. Fort Morgan 2 points away. Weimer over to Ganser. The dink at the middle. Dug out by Fort Morgan. Then hit by Gripe. Here's Lebstock on the left. Blocked. Played back by Lebstock. Poitz in the back row. Third hit by Lebstock. Sent over. Flat-footed tap. Easy play. Niwot. On their left side, it is Lasecki. Dug out in the back by Fort Morgan. Free ball over by Stroh, and it works for a Mustang point. And it's game point. 24-17. Again, Weimer will serve. Bad pass, Cougars. They will not play it, and it will be a Mustang win in game 4. We're going to 5 games. Fort Morgan wins 25-17. Back for game 5. After this, you're listening to Mustang Volleyball. This is B106 and B106.com. Pat O'Rourke back in Fort Morgan on B106 and on the World Wide Web at B106.com. The online streaming brought to you by Digger's Diner. The Mustangs lost the first 2 games, 26-24 and 25-12. But they have won the next 2, 25-21 and 25-17. And they try to make it a 2-0 start to their season as we go to Game 5. Of course, in Game 5, you only play to 15. Fort Morgan will be serving to start off Game 5. They're still in the near court, serving from left to right. Danielle Lebstock will be doing the serving. Mustangs waiting for the go-ahead from the official. You can hear the Mustang student section back in this match right now. They were a little quiet in that third game when Fort Morgan was not only down 2-0, but they were down by as many as 4 points, but they certainly have gotten right back into it. Danielle Lebsock serves. Tries to serve it short. Played on the knees by Niwot. Spike on the left. There it's Katie Judge. Dug out Pogarels. Bohm on the left. Weimer through the touch. Dug out. Tapped over on 2 hits by Niwot, but the Cougars were in the nets. That's a point for Fort Morgan. Mustangs lead 1-0. Mustangs have scored 14 points tonight when Lebsock has been serving. Lebsock, the junior, serves it over again. Played in the back by Gripe. She gets it back and she sends it into the net. She got the set from Vitale and sent it right into the net. 2-0 Fort Morgan. Lebsock will again serve. Lebsock tries to serve it short. Running up to get it was Lisecki. The spike at the middle through the touch. Played by Fort Morgan. Quick slide over by Schneider. Cougars play it to their left. The spike blocked by Fort Morgan. Sent over by Karras and good for a Mustang point. 3-0. Again, it's Lebsock serving. Lebsock again serves it short, barely passed up, sent back by Weimer off a touch. Cougars play it. On the left side, it's Katie Judge through the block, dug out Lebsock. Good pass, it goes to Bohm at the middle. Karras through the touch, dug out in the dive by Niwot. And the Cougars were in the net again. 4-0. Cougars might have to get a timeout here. You only go to 15 in game 5 and they're already down 4. Lebsock again. Pass made by Gripe. Setting on the left. Judge, a flat-footed tap off through the touch and good. And there's the side out for Niwot. The freshman Judge has 6 kills. Liz Vitale will serve. Serves from right to left. Her serve to Lebsock. Quick tap over by Bohm. Dug out by Niwot. And sent over, and the Mustangs cannot play it. It's another Cougar point. 2-4. Again, Vitale serves. Vitale over to Schneider. Boom. Back to Schneider on the right. Dug out by the Cougars. They get it up on the left side. The spike there through the Fort Morgan block and good by Katie Judge. Just like that, Niwot's within 1. They've scored 3 unanswered points. And Vitale serves once again. Cougars trying to pull even in this 5th game. Vitale with the serve. This one goes to Schneider. Bad pass. Bohm runs it down. On the left, Weimer sends it into the net. She was about 6 or 7 feet behind the net. It's 4-4. It all has to start with the pass. Wasn't there that time. Again, Vitale. Takes her time. Finally sends it over. This one to Pogarels. Better pass. Bohm. Not a good set on the right. Schneider hits it over, though. Vitale in the back row. Gets it to Gripe. Easy play, Weimer. Boom. Back to Weimer on the left. Her dink over the block. Dug out in a dive by Niwot. Sent back by Schneider, and the Mustangs are back in front. 5-4. That stops the run of 4 in a row by Niwot. Stroh and Chappell come back in for Schneider and Bohm. Chloe Stroh serves. Serve is over and played by Gripe. On the left side, Buki. Buki's hit is into the net. 6-4, Fort Morgan. Stroh struggled serving to start tonight, but she has pulled it together here over her last several serves. This one is over and played by, in the back by Gripe. The third hit behind the 10-foot line of the Mustangs. Stroh cannot play it cleanly. It's a side out back to Niwot. Judge will now serve. 5 serving 6. We're in game 5 if you're just joining us. Fort Morgan and Niwot. Stroh at the middle. The dink by Weimer is good. 7-5 Fort Morgan. Poitz and Van Greshby come back in as Pogarels and Karras go out. Callie Poitz is going to serve. Her serve. So line drive to Gripe. Good pass up to Vitale. Spike in the left. Lisecki. Barely played by Weimer. She gets it back from Stroh. She tried to dink it over, but she hit it into the net. Niwot back within one on the side out. Corey Ganser comes in as Weingart goes out. 6 serving 7. Ganser will serve. The junior sends it too long. The 15th service there of the night for Niwot. The Mustangs have 11. Cammie Weimer serves. Weimer tries to serve it short. Barely passed up, but nobody's going to get to the second hit. That's unofficially 6 aces for Weimer. It's 9-6 Fort Morgan. Mustangs a point here. They're really in good shape. Cougars, bad pass. Sent back by Lebsock. Cougars there to get it. Setting down on the left for Lisecki. Her dink played by Lebsock. He goes into the net. Barely played. Bumped over by Van Greshby. Fuki has to do the setting. At the middle, it's Gripe. Her hit. Handled by Stroh. Or actually Chappell, then Stroh. Now Lebsock. Dug out in a dive by Niwot in the back row. Flat-footed, sending it over the Cougars. Quick tap over by Van Greshby. Cougars got it back on their left side to Lisecki, and that is good. Leah Lisecki pulls Niwot within 2. 7 serving 9. Back into the match will be Allison Horsch as Joanna Vuki goes out. Mustangs got to get his side out here. This one goes to Poitz. Good pass, Stroh on the left. Lebsock, that hit. Dug out Niwot. Try to send over on 2 hits. They do. Lebsock plays it sent right back by Niwot, and good. Alert play there by the setter, Liz Vitale. And Niwot is within 1. It's 8-9. Allison Horsch will again serve. Horsch sends it out of bounds. The lines judge did not see it, but the head official did. And it's 10-8. Niwot just killing themselves with those service errors. Kendra Bohm back in. She's going to serve. Mustangs up by a deuce. Bohm. Good serve, good pass. Vitale at the middle. The dink by Gripe. Dug out Fort Morgan. Bohm at the middle for Van Greshby. She's blocked. Van Greshby keeps it alive. Bumped up, ran down by Schneider. Third hit, a free ball over by Fort Morgan. Vitale goes to the left to Lisecki. Her hit over the block and good. And Leah Lisecki with her 9th kill pulls Niwot again within 1. 9 serving 10. Lisecki will serve. Good match tonight from Fort Morgan. Niwot won the first 2 games. Fort Morgan took the next 2. We're now in game 5. Leah Lisecki goes to Poitz. Good pass, Bohm. On the left, it's Lebsock through the touch and good. Side out Fort Morgan. Danielle Lebsock has 8 kills. Mustangs lead it 11-9. Trista Karras in, as is Allison Pogarels. Van Greshby and Poitz go out. Pogarels will serve. Serve play by the Cougars. They get the same in the middle. The dink there. Dug out by Lebsock. Setting on the right. The spike is through the block and good by Katie Schneider. Her 5th kill. 12-9 Fort Morgan. Timeout by the Niwot bench. We're back in 30 seconds. This is game 5 from Fort Morgan. You're listening to Mustang Volleyball on B106. 12-9, Fort Morgan leads in game 5. Pat O'Rourke with you. It's a match that has gone on for nearly 2 hours. Allison Pogarels serves. The Mustangs 3 points away from a victory. The set at the middle is never made. The spike is never made. And the Mustangs are 2 points away. It's 13-9. Again, Pogarels. Good line drive. Not a good pass. And over in the second hit, but it's blocked by Karras. Match point for Fort Morgan. It's 14-9 in Game 5. Mustangs were down 2-0. The serve by Pogarels. Bad pass, sent back by Karras, blocked, kept alive by Fort Morgan. Pogarels into the back row, ran down by the Cougars. Vitale on the left finds Judge, play to the back by Weimer. Bohm does the same in the left for Lebstock. Hurtink over the block, dug out by Niwot. Spike at the middle, dug out by Fort Morgan on the hard attack. Here's Karras at the middle, over the block, played again by the Cougars. Her setting goes to the middle, spike there by Lasecki, blocked by Fort Morgan. Cougars play it again on the dive. Third hit, a free ball over to the Mustangs. It's Schneider, it's Karras, and Karras cannot send it over. Karras kind of colliding with Bohm. That should have been Bohm's hit. Miscommunication there, and perhaps no communication. Side out back to the Cougars. Serving for Niwot is going to be Colleen Gripe. Her serve finds Pogarels. Not a good pass. Bohm runs it down at the 10-foot line. The hit by Weimer, dug out by the Cougars. Setting behind the 10-foot line for the Cougars. Dug out by Cammie Weimer on the attack by Weinger. Spiked by Schneider on the right is too long. Another point for Niwot. 11-14. Colleen Gripe again serves. Niwot has scored 2 in a row. Still triple match point Fort Morgan. Pogarels, a good pass to Bohm. On the left, the hit by Karras, dug out, and Niwot cannot play it cleanly. The Mustangs win in 5. They were down 2-0. They win it 24-26, 12-25, 25-21, 25-17, and 15-11. Fort Morgan is 2-0. We're back for the High Plains Bank post-game show after this. You're listening to Mustang Volleyball on B106. Mustangs win in 5 games tonight. Very impressive fashion as they beat Niwot to improve to 2-0. This is the High Plains Bank post-game show. No matter what your loan needs, stop by High Plains Bank at 502 Central Avenue in Wiggins. Also inquire about checking and savings accounts as well as CDs at High Plains Bank. The Mustangs lost the first 2 games but won the next 3 to win tonight against the Niwot Cougars. Leading the way in kills was Cammie Weimer. She finished unofficially with 13. Danielle Lebstock contributed 8 from the service line. The Mustangs scored 17 points with Lebstock at the service line, 12 with Weimer there. Weimer contributed 6 aces. The Mustangs had 11 service errors as a team. Niwot was led by, from the service line, Katie Judge. They scored 18 points with Judge back there. Kill-wise, Leah Lasecki had 9. Joanna Vuki finished with 8. The Cougars did commit 16 service errors, and a few of those hurt them in that decisive 5th game. But what a win for Fort Morgan and head coach Tom Gonzalez as they improved to 2-0 after falling behind 2-0. They win in 5 this evening. Thanks to the sound engineer back at the studio, Jesse Hackey. I am Pat O'Rourke signing off from Fort Morgan High School Gymnasium. The Mustangs' next match will be Thursday night. Fort Morgan is in Aurora, their first road match of the year, a non-conference match as they play Overland High School. Again, the final tonight, Fort Morgan wins in 5, 24-26, 12-25, 25-21, 25-17, and 15-11. That's Mustang Volleyball on B106 and on the World Wide Web at B106.com. I'm Pat O'Rourke. Have a good night, everyone.